Hello everyone. Today we are going to study parasitology, starting from the basic concepts and then gradually understanding hosts, parasites, and their different types. So first, what is parasitology? Parasitology is the study of parasites, their hosts, and the relationship between them. It also includes the identification of parasites, their life cycle, pathogenesis, clinical signs, diagnosis, treatment, control, and prevention. In addition, parasitology studies the morphology, taxonomy, and living requirements of parasites both in the environment and inside animal hosts. Now let us understand why this subject is important. The major goal of veterinary parasitology is to protect animal health and improve animal productivity. But this field is not limited to animals only. Many animal parasites can also infect humans. Because of this, veterinary parasitology is extremely important for public health as well. Now that we understand parasitology, let us move toward an important concept called symbiosis. Symbiosis means a close and long-term biological interaction between two organisms of different species. In this relationship, both organisms live together in some way. Symbiosis is divided into three major types. The first type is commensalism. In commensalism, one organism gets benefit while the other is neither harmed nor benefited. The host shows no effect, while the other organism gains advantage. The second type is mutualism. In mutualism, both organisms benefit from each other. Both sides gain advantages from the relationship. The third and most important type for our topic is parasitism. In parasitism, one organism benefits while the other suffers harm. One gains food and shelter, while the other becomes damaged. Now this naturally leads us to parasitism itself. Parasitism is a relationship in which one organism, called the parasite, lives on or inside another organism known as the host. The parasite depends on the host for food and shelter, and in the process it harms the host. In severe cases, it may even cause death. Since parasites live inside or on another organism, we must clearly understand the term host. A host is an animal or plant on or inside which a parasite lives. Different parasites use different kinds of hosts during their life cycle. Because of this, hosts are divided into several important types. Let us begin with the intermediate host. An intermediate host is a host in which a parasite lives and multiplies asexually during its life cycle, but sexual reproduction does not occur. A common example is the snail, which acts as an intermediate host for many parasites. Now moving forward, let us discuss the definitive host. A definitive host is the host in which a parasite undergoes sexual reproduction and completes its life cycle. For example, humans act as the definitive host for the human tapeworm. Next comes the paratenic or transport host. This host temporarily carries sexually immature parasites without further development, keeping them alive and infective until they reach the normal host. A transport host basically helps in transferring parasites from one place to another. A common example is the housefly, Musca domestica. Houseflies can carry many protozoan and metazoan parasites. They can also spread viral and bacterial pathogens that are important in public health. Now let us discuss the reservoir host. A reservoir host is a host that keeps parasites in its body for a long time and spreads infection to other hosts. These hosts help parasites survive in nature when they are not present in their normal hosts. For example, antelopes in Africa can serve as reservoir hosts for Trypanosoma rhodesians, the parasite responsible for sleeping sickness in humans. Another important host type is the accidental or incidental host. Sometimes parasites enter a host they do not normally infect. Such a host is called an accidental host. An example is heartworm infection in cats. Now that the concept of hosts is clear, let us properly define a parasite. A parasite is an organism that depends on a host for food, shelter, and survival. Parasites are classified into several important types based on where they live and how they survive. The first type is endoparasites. Endoparasites live inside the body of the host. Their presence is called infection. Examples include nematodes, trematodes, cestodes, and protozoan parasites. The second type is ectoparasites. Ectoparasites live outside or on the surface of the host's body. Their presence is called infestation. Examples include flies, fleas, mosquitoes, lice, and ticks. Now let us move toward facultative parasites. A facultative parasite is an organism that can complete its life cycle even without a host. It does not normally require a host for survival, but under certain conditions it can become parasitic. A famous example is Naegleria fowleri, a free-living amoeba capable of infecting the human brain. In contrast to facultative parasites, we have obligate parasites. An obligate parasite must live inside a host to complete its life cycle. Without the host, it cannot survive or reproduce properly. An example is Rickettsia, which grows inside eukaryotic cells. Next comes the incidental or accidental parasite. This parasite infects an unusual host where it may not survive for a long time. For example, Echinococcus granulosus commonly infects dogs, but humans may become accidentally infected. Another important category is aberrant or wandering parasites. These parasites enter a host in which they cannot continue their development properly. As a result, they wander through tissues and fail to complete their life cycle. An example is Toxocora infection in humans. In the next lecture, we will study the methods used for parasite control and prevention in a simple and easy way. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep learning. See you in the next lecture.